watching KWQC TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
It is Pride Month, and the Project of the Quad Cities has several fun events planned to help the community celebrate. We have details on a Bandits game, a 5K, and an outdoor party all happening this week.
And in honor of Juneteenth, you don't want to miss this weekend's Quad City Juneteenth Festival. We'll get the details on this day of celebration, music, and community.
And later, your opportunity to check out dozens of artists, crafters, and vendors from across the region at this year's East Mo Market. What to expect at this annual celebration in downtown East Moline. You're watching Quad Cities Live on this Tuesday, June 11th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. Of course, a lot of events coming up, including Father's Day, which is this weekend. And if you're still searching for the perfect gift for Dad, look no further than Wallace's Garden Center, believe it or not. Kate Terrell is here from Wallace's Now. Kate, thank you so much for joining us, as always.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
So you wouldn't think a garden center would be a place to find a gift for Dad, but as we mentioned, it's much more than a greenhouse. I mean, look at all of this stuff that you've brought us. So we're kind of putting these gift ideas into 3 categories, and we're going to do a little alliteration. We've got grooming, grilling, and the other one just slipped my mind. It is growing.
Growing, yes,
Yeah, so let's talk about the grooming first.
Grooming. So we are known for a lot of our, hand soaps for the home and a lot of home fragrances, candles, of course. But we do also carry products for men. So we have some great stuff. One of our most popular is the Bloody Knuckles, which is a hand repair from Duke Cannon, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then my favorite new line is these premium soaps from Man Bar. And these are the mini ones. They also have big ones, but the fragrances are just awesome. And the packaging is just really nice, so it makes a great gift, especially if you're doing like a gift card for Dad.
Sure.
Then this is the perfect thing to kind of put with it.
Yeah, I want to read what they're called. So this one is Redwood and Clove fragrance. So that's one of the soaps. Then we have Cedar and Sandalwood and Ebony Wood and Coffee. So those are Dad smells right there.
Yes. Coffee. I'd take that one in a heartbeat.
So Man Bar, so lots of kind of fun stuff, especially if they like to work out in the yard or work on cars, do woodworking. A lot of the hand soaps and lotions are good to get their hands back in.
Can we point out this one here too? It is Bush beer soap, and before the show, Kyle and I already smelled it, and it actually smells really good.
It does. It doesn't smell exactly like Bush beer, but you know what? It smells good, and that's all that matters.
Right. So that is our grooming, and then we have a lot of stuff for grilling. So we don't sell grills, which some people think that we do, but we don't. But we do sell a lot of great kind of gourmet food accessories for grilling. So we have these wing squeezes. They're wing and grilling squeezes in different flavors: hot pepper bacon, and sweet heat, and just some fun flavors to try carnitas if they like to do tacos. And then this line from Bourbon Barrel Foods is really fun. So this is a gourmet food line out of Kentucky where all their spices and sauces are all aged in bourbon barrels, and so it gives them a different flavor.
Really popular too, right?
The Kentucky-Yaki,
Kentucky-Yaki, that's just fun to say.
The Kentucky version of teriyaki sauce. So they kind of add that bourbon flavor in there and kind of give it a new twist. So kind of fun to try for all your summer grilling.
Yeah, and they're really unique products too. You know, it's kind of like, it's great to know that you guys carry these products, because, you know, sometimes if you go to the big box store, well, it's stuff that Dad's probably already seen before in some way, shape, or form. But, you know, if you go to somewhere like Wallace's, where you guys carry these very specific, you know, gift type products, they are unique.
They are, yeah. We try to do a lot of kind of specialty stuff and quality stuff. We look for, you know, we taste test everything, every food line before we bring it in, and make sure that it's something that we ourselves would eat and buy and recommend. And we do actually all. One of our other really popular grilling items is our hot honey.
I want to try that one.
So hot honey is, you see it a lot on restaurant menus now. So it's just a really nice size bottle. That's from Savannah Bee. And everything Savannah Bee, the portion of their profits always goes to to help save the bees.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
wow.
Which is
Okay.
awesome.
Well, this one, in case anyone's wondering, wildflower honey, Scotch bonnet pepper, and habanero pepper. So it's going to be a real spicy.
A little spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying this.
Sweet and hot.
Sounds so good.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
obviously we've got the grilling, which I'm guessing is pretty popular. I mean, people probably come in and snack these products up, right?
Yes, 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 they do. And then we also have fresh herbs.
Yes,
so,
and these smell good as well. They're very,
yeah,
very,
so rosemary,
Yeah.
basil to do in your summer salads, and
Yeah.
you know, rosemary potatoes. All the fresh herbs are perfect for adding to anything you're making outdoors.
and obviously the growing part is you've got all the stuff that you need
Everything
to
you need, yeah.
keep the garden fresh
Yeah,
and alive.
a lot of dads are vegetable gardeners.
Yeah.
They may
Yep.
not be into flowers, but they like to do their tomatoes and peppers and onions. And so we have, we still have great tomato plants
good.
and already growing, and they can still get started on a garden. Or we have like all the tools and the fertilizers
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all the gardening accessories to make things easier.
Well, the tomato plant too that you brought in, I mean, it's pretty far along, so this is
Yeah.
It is,
maybe
yeah.
like a good time
Yes,
to
it
buy.
will.
I just did buy veggie shopping not too long ago. I actually saw you, Kate, when,
Yeah.
when I was at Wallace's, and they were already kind of started for me,
Yeah.
and that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
This is a-
Wallace's do the dirty work.
I was going to say,
upfront.
do the harder work and you just kind of
Yeah.
do a little bit
Just
along the way.
plant them.
we try to have it.
So hey, we'll add another G to this. Let's talk
Yeah.
about gaming. You brought a lot of
Gaming.
different game options for
That's
dads
right.
as well.
So we try to find kind of unique games that you don't find at Target and other
Sure.
kind of big toy stores. So we have this new fun s'mores checkers game, and
S'mores checkers.
S'mores checkers, and then
Sounds like a
couple-
dad game to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And then some fun like kind of dad themed Fisher Cut Bait is a card game, and Deer and Headlights, and then some great puzzles. This is a Sasquatch puzzle that is actually in the shape of a Sasquatch.
Oh.
And then we have a round puzzle of Earth. So for some of those really hot days
Yeah.
coming up or a rainy day, some fun stuff to do indoors or take on a family road trip
Yeah.
for the summer. So just kind
I'm
of some fun
intrigued by a
games.
round puzzle. That seems like it would be increasingly more difficult than a
Yeah.
puzzle already is.
I'm trying to think if it would be like, would you do the borders first? I don't know.
I think so. I think you would try to get the
Yeah.
round borders first, maybe. But I tried to take up puzzling
We're
in the
mapping it out.
pandemic, and
Yeah,
that didn't
new
work out
dad
for me.
strategies
Yeah, there you
for
go.
gaming.
The birdhouse. Now, I want to talk about this because a lot of people are into putting up the birdhouses right now. You know, when you're little, sometimes you make a birdhouse
Yes.
for dad, but maybe you're getting this, you know, it could be just a dad in your life. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is
like,
a bird feeder. So this one's made from bamboo, so sustainable material. And, you know, the birds, they're out and about all the time. And if they like being outdoors, this is a great thing to hang near the grill while
Yeah.
they're out there
Yeah.
grilling and see who comes to visit. So we have a lot of great birds in our area, cardinals
yeah.
and finches, orioles. There's a lot of really great birds in our area, and they definitely will come if you start feeding them.
yeah, I didn't realize you could pick up that stuff as well at
Yeah.
Wallace's. So you truly do. You guys have
Everything for indoors and out.
You have it all
More
covered.
than just flowers. Well, Wallace's Garden Center is located on Devil's Glen Road in Bettendorf. We have the phone number on your screen, and you can also check out promotions and special events by heading to their website, wallacesgardencenter.com, or you can follow along on their Facebook page as well. Kate,
Lots
as
of
always,
sales this weekend.
Yeah.
Lots of sales
I
this
can
weekend as
imagine.
well.
So a good time to stop in as
yes,
well.
Great time.
most definitely.
Yes.
Okay,
As
great.
always, thanks, Kate.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Coming up next on QCL, June is Pride Month, and there are several events happening just this week alone to help us celebrate. We'll get the details from the Project of the Quad Cities next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
June is Pride Month, and the Project of the Quad Cities is hosting multiple events to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community and, of course, its allies. Tyler Mitchell is with the project and joins us now. Tyler, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Morgan. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. We're so happy to have you. So we've got a lot of really great organizations here in the QCA that celebrate the community. Let's talk specifically about the Project of the Quad Cities, though. What's your mission? What types of services do you guys like to provide?
For sure. So we've actually been around since 1986, serving people living with HIV since then. Today, we still support people living with HIV, but we also provide healthcare services to LGBTQ+ individuals throughout our community. And we recognize that that is such an important service to provide, especially because those individuals truly have unique healthcare needs that often can't be met in other areas. So we've been here for a while, you know, and happy to serve the community.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult for somebody within that community, you know, just to, I don't know, maybe approach like a family practitioner or something like that. Like it especially, you know, early on.
For sure.
You know, and so the fact that you guys are there the response has to be fabulous.
Yeah, I think, you know, some providers in our community, and it's not necessarily their fault, just don't have the knowledge or the information.
Sure.
And then frankly, patients might not necessarily know all the right questions that they should be asking, right? And so coming into our space, you know, it's affirming, and we make LGBTQ people feel welcome so that they can ask those questions and get the health care they deserve.
Absolutely, and I should mention you guys also do a lot of outreach. So at the end of our segment today, we're going to put information on the screen about your website and whatnot, because you guys make yourselves very available throughout the community, which only makes it easier for somebody who's potentially seeking information or treatment or resources. So we'll get that up there for everybody. Now we want to talk about some of the super fun stuff that you guys have going on this week. So this Thursday is Pride Night with the River Bandits. It's going to be a great evening.
Yes.
So what can we expect at the event?
Yeah, super excited. This is honestly one of my favorite events. I think this is year 3 that we've done it, and truly what I love about it, it is just filled with families, you know, of whether they're LGBTQ or straight or allies, you know, it's just a great opportunity to see everybody coming together and, you know, that sort of unifier that is baseball, right? We can all come together around this thing that we all enjoy.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll be handing out rainbow koozies at our tables, so please, you know, stop by and grab one of those.
We could always use a rainbow. We could always use another koozie, but how could you turn down a rainbow koozie? So that's Thursday. This Thursday, you guys are going to have a table. There's also a code that people can use for discounted bleacher tickets.
Correct. Yep. They can use code PRIDE, and I want to say it could be lowercase, all caps. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It will work either way.
Okay, so it's going to be a great night for that. Then this Saturday, wow, Saturday is just a really big day for you guys.
It is.
So in the morning, you guys are starting with your annual Pride 5K.
That is correct. So that starts at 8 a.m.
Okay.
And that event consists of both a 5K as well as a 1-mile fun run.
Okay.
So certainly we're inviting people to participate in any way they can. You know, we've had folks saying, can we just walk it or take our time? And absolutely. This is really about providing yet again another opportunity for the community to come together around something that many people love and enjoy. It's a wonderful event, and I'm so excited that we get to start our day that way.
Yeah, so it all starts, you kind of gather at the Bass Street Landing area for this. So the 5K kind of takes you throughout the area. You do have some riverfront running, so it sounds like it's a really pretty route. And then you have the 1-mile run as well. There's cash prizes for folks, so if you're out there for the competition and the community, that's okay too.
Yes.
And you have packet pickup for that 2 days this week, correct?
Correct. So we'll be doing that from tomorrow, Wednesday, from 4 to 7, as well as on Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. At our location, 4101 John Deere Road. And then folks, of course, can also get their packets the morning of race day from about 7 to 7:45.
Okay, good to know. All right, and later that day, it's party time. You guys are going to be having a Pride party at Bass Street Landing. Sounds like it's going to be a blast. Who can attend?
Anyone can attend, and I want to make that very clear, especially because the admission is free. We don't charge for people to come to this event. We want Pride to be as accessible as possible. And really, when I say anyone, I mean people who are obviously supportive of the community, are in the community themselves. It's going to be so fun. We'll have, you know, drag performances, live music, food vendors, and it's a really, really good time. And again, it's another event that just makes my heart so happy to see happen in our community.
Oh, I can only imagine. So what I have on the schedule, you mentioned it's a live music and entertainment. That goes from 3 to 7:30 p.m. So run the 5K in the morning, hang out, you know, make some friends, and then come back to Bass Street and enjoy that. And then you have drag performances from 8 to 10:30 p.m. We have quite a community of drag performers here in the Quad Cities.
We do, and I love that we bring in local performers for this, based here in the Quad Cities, right? And I also love, we have a mix of both queens and kings. You know, we don't see a lot of drag kings too often out there. So we're really offering people kind of a variety in the performance. And again, it's all local. So when you come to this event, you're supporting local performers that live in this community.
Yeah, it's truly a special performances. Before I let you go, let's talk a little bit more about Pride Month in general. Why is Pride Month Month and events like these, events like that you're putting together, or Clock, whoever it is, why is this so important for us to do?
Well, I think it's important first to remind people that LGBTQ+ people are always here, not just during Pride Month, right? We love during the month of June the sort of additional allyship that we get. We have people that are stepping up and supporting us. But I think when it comes down to it, it's most important for, I think, our youth who are wondering who they are, and to be able to go to Pride and feel welcome and seen is truly powerful. And for many LGBTQ people, that's sometimes like that first moment where you get to feel like yourself.
Yeah, or that your identity is celebrated.
Of course.
Is welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so to learn more about the fun events planned by the Project for Pride Month, visit them on the web at tpqc.org/pride. Tyler, as always, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And talking about everything. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Up next, the Quad City Juneteenth celebration is happening this weekend, commemorating the end of slavery in the United States, and we're getting the details on this all-day event, bringing together businesses, resources, live entertainment, and community.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
There's a very special event coming up this weekend commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. It is a holiday, otherwise known as Juneteenth. Joining us now to talk more about this Saturday's Quad City Juneteenth celebration are Tracy Singleton and Ryan Sadler. Welcome to both of you, or I should say welcome back. We love having you on the show. Ryan, the QC Juneteenth celebration, it starts at what, 11 a.m. on Saturday?
So at 11 a.m.
Okay.
We go till 4 p.m.
You go till 4 p.m. So you have a lot jam-packed into that.
We do. I'm excited about the vendors that we have.
Yeah.
A lot of resource vendors, but a lot of vendors that have clothing and candles and other things. And then we have food vendors as well. And really, it's about communicating to this community about the resources in this community, not just for African Americans, but for the community.
Okay, wonderful. So that starts in the morning on Saturday. It's in LeClaire Park.
At LeClaire Park this year.
Okay, so who can attend? Is this open to everybody?
Yes, everyone is invited to come. There'll be, along with vendors and entertainment, which Tracy talks about, is we will do a little bit of history of understanding what Juneteenth means, so that people don't leave with just attending another festival.
I'm glad that you said that. You know, I think a lot of people may still not know what Juneteenth is. They may know that now it's recognized as a federal holiday. That's not enough.
Right.
So, you know, why do you think so much importance really does need to be placed on education?
Yes, because without education, we all would just be ignorant. And so I think for us to have the education of what happened in terms of ending of the Civil War, what happened in 1865 and 1866 with this process of enslaved Texan citizens being notified that the war was over late. We need to understand that, but then also understand that we say Juneteenth commemorates the ending of slavery. There were still states in the North that still had slavery. It was a part of the agreement. And so we'll talk a little bit about that on Saturday, make sure people understand what it means. And I like to talk about the fact that we get through Juneteenth, we talk about the history. A lot of people want to talk about the negative aspects, but I like to talk about the people who were better and not bitter as a result of what happened.
Okay, wow, thank you. And we're gonna, Tracy, you're the expert on entertainment, from what I understand. So when does that all get started? Before we even get to the concert that's gonna be happening on Saturday night, there's gonna be entertainment as well throughout the day.
There is. Entertainment is from 1 to 3. We feature a lot of our youth. It gives them a platform to be able to do what they just love to do. We also announce to the community our Miss Juneteenth winner. That is just getting bigger every year with more girls participating. We have choirs, we have dancers, we have spoken word, all in celebration of Juneteenth. And so that takes place from 1 to 3. And also we have a DJ. KALA has always been very generous with their time and coming down and making sure they set the tone for the day.
And with the Miss Juneteenth pageant, I have to say, because I was in the Facebook group, and even just like the requirements to compete, participate, impressive. Like these
and they're young girls. That's what's impressive to me, is that these girls could be doing anything, but they are committed to being part of a program that really lasts a year, the whole year, leading up to the Miss Juneteenth pageant.
Yeah. Ryan, the theme, I noticed, is still breaking chains.
Yes.
Talk about why that's pertinent.
Well, of course, we have the chains symbolizing the ending of slavery, but then there's still strongholds in terms of the mindset of how people think. There are certain people are supposed to act, or how people are actually treated. And so we want to make sure that we understand that we're still dispelling stereotypes, breaking chains of within an individual, and then within the society conformities.
Yeah. So in the evening, there's something really great happening that you guys had going on last year, which is the Rhythm on the River Festival. Tracy, that begins around 6 p.m. This is really important because of the music aspect. It's a concert that evening, and it highlights a lot.
Yes, so this is a wonderful partnership that we started last year with Common Chord. We have now added on City of Davenport with their concert series Along the River. And so from 6 to 9, you have jazz, you have gospel, you have Motown. It's a little bit of everything that celebrates our culture. And celebrates our history. There is a huge history of African Americans and the river and those connections. So to be able to do this at LeClaire Park on the river for the entire community, Juneteenth, the festival, the concert, this is for the entire community to come out, so that they, I always say, if you come and you engage and you educate, you get understanding. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. Admission for that is also free.
Free is always in the budget, right? I always say that. Everyone's got free.
I think that's so great. So what a way to encourage people to come down. What I thought was very cool is you can reserve a space if you have a small group or something in LeClaire Park. I think it's $25.
Yep, for a plot.
And the proceeds that you get from that are also going toward greater good.
Yep.
They're going back into the Lincoln Center.
The Lincoln Center, right. Yeah.
That is fabulous.
So it's $25 a plot. It gets you first right there up front. Up close and personal. Up close and personal
to see that music. Before we run out of time with you, I do want to talk about each of your organizations. So with those proceeds going back to the Lincoln Center, explain a little bit to folks what the Lincoln Center is, the resources that are available.
Well, we have wonderful programming right now. We're in a summer program with kids. We have our library. We have a health clinic. We have a business center. So anything that comes into the Lincoln Center goes automatically right back out into the community with the services and programs we provide.
Yes, and you're with Friends of MLK.
Yes, and so our primary focus is really to talk about the history that rests in this area, and to encourage the Quad Cities to really live out the civil rights that Dr. King, and human rights that Dr. King essentially died for.
Yeah. Well, thank you both.
Thank you.
For chatting with me today. The Quad City Juneteenth Festival, it does run from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. at Davenport's LeClaire Park. The Rhythm on the River concert begins at 6 p.m. Again, these events are free. They are family friendly. Come one, come all, and walk away with a little bit more than you started with.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Thanks again, both of you for coming here. Well, much more to come in our next half hour of Quad Cities Live, including ways to take control of your brain health right now in an effort to avoid issues with memory loss in the future. We'll talk with the Alzheimer's Association of the Quad Cities. And later, the Eastmo Market is back again this year, featuring dozens of local artists, crafters, and other vendors. We'll get a closer look at just a few of the items you'll find at this weekend's event.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
There are nearly 7 million people in the United States age 65 and older living with Alzheimer's dementia, and more than 300,000 of them live in Iowa and Illinois. Megan Olson is with the Alzheimer's Association here in the Quad Cities. Megan, welcome to QCL. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Marta.
Yes, lots of good stuff to talk about today from the association. We want to start with what Alzheimer's is. We know it's a form of dementia. It's very, very tough on not only the folks that are struggling with it themselves, but of course their family members and their friends.
Yes, and the number one question we get is what is the difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia? And so I always like to explain Alzheimer's or dementia is like an umbrella term. And so say if someone had cancer, you'd want to know what type of cancer. Same thing with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is one of those under that dementia umbrella, but you have over 100 types and causes and forms that exist.
Wow.
And so really helping the individual and their family and their friends along their journey, that's why it's just important that we know.
Yeah.
We're the Alzheimer's Association because Alzheimer's disease is 60 to 80% of those cases, but unfortunately I've encountered in the Quad Cities area those who are like the 2%ers where they have a very, very rare form.
Yeah.
And so we utilize our experts to help them what their journey looks like.
Yeah, talking a little bit more about the Alzheimer's Association, your mission is essentially to bring more of those resources to folks. And of course, research at the end of it, because we have come a long way.
We have.
In research, even in the last 5 years or so, we're hearing more and more amazing things are happening with technology, but of course it still affects so many people, so many of our family members.
It does, and you know, the research that is out there, I mean, I'm always letting people know there's a treatment that is available currently, and so it is through the research that has got us to that first treatment that can be administered. And so from that, we need others to, of course, share their story and their journey, because it is through that we learn about the brain. And the brain is so complex.
Yeah.
And with symptoms happening in your brain 10 to 20 years before, or changes happening to your brain 10 to 20 years before that first symptom, my goodness, anything that we can do to prevent it.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and that's, you know, what we're going to talk about today. So just going along with that, so some statistics that you guys provided, surprising actually, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The lifetime risk for the disease at 45, age 45, is 1 in 5 for women and 1 in 10 for men. The brain changes that cause Alzheimer's, they're thought to begin, as you mentioned, 20 years before symptoms even start. So what we're talking about today is, you know, the things that we can do right now that can hopefully prevent it or, you know, lessen the impact of memory loss or Alzheimer's, whatever dementia really that falls under that umbrella. So June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So we're going to take control of our brain health by doing a few things. There are 5 suggestions that you guys have provided for us. The first one, incorporate healthy habits that may reduce the risk of cognitive decline. So what can we do there?
Yeah, so healthy habits, specifically, we are wanting to get yourself, I always say healthy heart, healthy mind. So whether that be eating a well-balanced diet, many people have heard of the DASH diet or the Mediterranean diet, getting out and doing exercise. You don't have to run a marathon tomorrow, but the little things help. So say it be after dinner, go for a brief walk, or park a little farther in the parking lot. Little things that can continue to help increase everything good for your heart and healthy brain.
Like healthy habits doesn't necessarily need to be huge lifestyle changes, unless, you know, of course, that's recommended to you by your doctor, but just these little things that you can do. So learn the early warning signs of Alzheimer's and other dementia. I just did it. I just said memory loss. That's not necessarily going to be the first warning sign. There's a lot there.
There is so much more to unpack, and we find when people come into our office to speak with us that they are over the years they're like, oh, this was off, or this was off, or this is off, and it's once that diagnosis happens that you can go backwards. So essentially, executive functioning is what we mean here. So whether that be you lose your keys. if you're able to retrace those steps back, it's okay. But if you're losing your keys on a consistent basis and you have absolutely no idea where they are, or you're showing up for an appointment that you already went to, all of these little things are showing that there is something that is happening in the brain that is causing you to forget. We all have stress.
Right.
It's normal to forget things every once in a while, but when it affects your daily life, that is what we want to make sure that people understand. Those are the things to be worried about.
Yeah, and really the next step there, which is the third thing on the list, is being proactive in addressing those things. If it's memory loss, if it's thinking problems. You guys do a lot of studies, and they show many people experience this stuff, and they put off talking to their doctors about it, probably because it's scary.
It is. 60% of people push this process off, and I know it's scary, but the only way that you can get involved in understanding and unpacking more is to talk about it. And you never know, it might not be dementia. It could be a medicine interaction. It could be urinary tract infection, a thyroid infection. Different, you know, different things can mess with your health. And so if it is this, addressing it now and being proactive, because you can then, if it affects you, you can be involved in all of the decision-making processes, and that just really helps.
We can also help to accelerate disease-related research. We were just talking about how clinical trials led to this new treatment that's been super helpful. So that is something that we can do right now to make sure that if a loved one or ourselves eventually finds themselves in a position where we've got, you know, a dementia diagnosis or an Alzheimer's diagnosis, we know that we've, you know, been really proactive in, you know, getting that research. And then finally, volunteering with the Alzheimer's Association. So how can we do that?
And so we have volunteer positions, whether they be in person or you can do them remotely as well. You're interacting with individuals who are also passionate about getting awareness out there. I'm the only one in the Quad Cities, but we cover the greater region. So it takes a village, just like it takes caring for someone with Alzheimer's or a form of dementia. It's a village, and so that's how we do it with our volunteers, and that's how we can maximize our outreach and educate others.
Yes, well, and of course we're going to have the walk at the end of the summer, so we'll have to have you back to talk more about that. Meantime, though, to learn more about what we talked about today or to find additional resources on Alzheimer's and dementia, visit the website there on your screen. That's alz.org/Iowa. Megan, thank you so much for just making it easy to understand and digest for everybody watching. Thank you. Well, still to come on QCL, the East Moline Market is back this weekend in downtown East Moline. We'll take a look at just a few of the items you can find at this giant event featuring more than 60 local artists and vendors.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, if you're still shopping for that perfect gift for Dad this Father's Day, it's okay if you are. You're going to want to check out the East Moline Market, which is taking place this Saturday.
Yeah, Laura Guthrie is joining us now with all the details on this massive vendor event in downtown East Moline. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell us more about the East Moline Market, because some people may remember this as the Picker's Paradise, but I mean, this is bigger than just picking something.
Yes. So it used to be, you know, more collectibles, second chance sales, things like that. But we wanted to make sure we captured the freeze-dried treats. I mean, we have food, we have artists, we have crafters, all kinds of different vendors. And so I think that's kind of more reminiscent of the open air market that we wanted to have.
Yeah, you guys are going to have so much new there, so much that has been created specifically for, you know, markets like this one. And you're still going to make that second chance or that, you know, that antique picking. That's still part of it as well.
Yes, we just opened it up.
This is huge. So how did you choose the vendors or the artists that are taking part?
Sure. Well, we put it out there basically for anyone. It was just a spot that they had to pay for and reserve ahead of time. We wanted to make sure that nobody overlapped, so they weren't having the same thing being sold multiple places down the street. But some of these I just think are adorable.
You brought a lot of great stuff with you, which I can only imagine is a small fraction of what we're going to see on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Can we start over here? I can't get over, this is made by a young woman. These items, they're beautiful. They're incredible.
Attention to detail. So I just love this jellyfish. And that's made with love, crochet by Brooke. And she's very excited. This is her first show with us.
This is, oh my gosh, it's so soft. is so cute. What a really great, unique gift. Not necessarily for Father's Day, but hey, if you've got a new dad, you know, in your life, I mean, maybe that is something cute that you would want. Either way, it's awesome and really well done.
Well, for Dad, you've got some aprons here, the Cubs cards. I know they play a game on Sunday as well for Father's Day, but if you want to get them a nice little apron, you can do that.
That's some good
as well.
knowledge you just dropped there.
I know, well, I'm not the biggest sports fan, but
when the Cubs cards play,
you know it's happening. So you also have candles here because you're the owner of the Craft Corner as well.
Yes, and so I own that, and we make several things there at the store with the individuals that I work with, and we do candles. We'll be open that day from 8 to 2 as well, along with some other projects like the Bears Rock that we have there.
Oh yeah, right there.
I'm sure we can scrounge up a Green Bay Rock somewhere.
I'm sure you could.
Covering all bases.
Gotta have the balance there.
Really, really great stuff. What else I think is very cool is the location that this market is happening. As we mentioned at the beginning, it is right in downtown East Moline. So the brick and mortar businesses that are there, they could also feel a part of this.
Yes, so Calva Apparel will be there. We have the Palace Tavern is offering lunch specials, half off appetizers. We have Jaded Java offering specials, as well as Junior's Sports Bar and Grill. They're doing specials, but also Loaded Bloody Marys for those that need a little lubrication in order to do their shopping, and we always encourage that.
That's not bad,
Yeah, makes the day go a little faster.
And you know, this isn't like a farmer's market that is every single weekend. The Eastmo Market is just this Saturday, so you want to make sure you come out and check out what all the vendors have to offer, because you were saying you've got more than 50 vendors who are going to be there.
Yeah, 52 as of this morning, and each one unique to the next, so it is a really great showing, and it's also great for me because I get to look at some of these items and see if I can have them in my shop too. So I kind of do some vendor shopping there too.
No, that's really, really special. And it must mean a lot too. I mean, when you talked about, you know, the young lady who creates these crochet, it is really special for a lot of these folks. It is their first time showing off their creations. So they're probably excited as well.
Yeah, they're very excited, and it's another way, you know, in tight economies, some people are trying to make a little bit of extra money, and it's nice to be able to do that with something you're passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely is. Well, the Eastmo Market is this Saturday, June 15th from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. It's in downtown Moline, as we mentioned, along 15th Avenue, with roughly 52 artists, crafters, vendors, all of them taking part. It's going to be a great day. Laura, thank you for joining us today and for bringing these beautiful items with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching QCL.
Your local news at 4 is coming up next. Have a great evening.